We were getting the good stuff, but here we are. So before we jump in, hello everyone. Today we are watching ourselves some Smackdown and hoping for the best. Can we guarantee the best? Not sure, but we do know that we have multiple segments including Roman Reigns. The celebration from the Bloodline. We have Seth Rollins back again. And in addition to all of this, of course, we have Charlotte Flair taking on Naomi. Is this a championship match? Probably not. It hasn't really been made clear. At least I'm not entirely certain that it's been made clear. It doesn't feel like it's been made very clear, if it's been made clear at all. Let's put it that way. We are currently streaming on both YouTube and on Twitch, even though YouTube seems to be having a bit of an issue with the whole concept. Let's just move that over there. And we are, of course, streaming on Twitch as well, so that we can have ourselves a nice watch party. And Bailey, there will be conversation. Bailey, there will be chatter. We will certainly find ways of enjoying ourselves. Sean also saying hello again, Tom. SRS of Fightful said Roderick Strong versus LI Knight was a dark match. Makes sense. We knew they were both backstage after all. So we also know that dark matches are currently being planned as a way of determining who from NXT is going to be called up to the main roster and who is going to be kicked out the door. Because more people are likely to be kicked out the door. Let's be honest. I do apologise. I've just got to clean my headphones a little bit. They're a bit messy. I did just get out of the bath. That's why I'm late. I'm a little bit of a bath addict. It still surprises me that, based on last week, Seth's the good guy, even though Roman feels like such a stronger good guy. But we are where we are. Tommy B over on YouTube says Pete Dunne will go to the main roster. I suspect he will as well. He has been in some dark matches. He is being sort of tried out at the moment to determine whether or not he's ready for the main roster. He is. I think we can all agree on that. He's more than ready. He's more than capable. He's ready to take that step. It's just whether or not the WWE will let him at this point. I do quickly need to put an announcement tweet out stating that we are now live. So if you'll bear with me just one moment while I do that. We are live now for a full showing of Smackdown. Join us where we're hunting just 2 new subscriptions. Now I'm not sure if we are just going to end up with 2 subscriptions, because last I checked we were on 8 to 8. However, I can't guarantee we're still on 8 to 8 because I can't work out whether that number's right or the dashboard's right. One of them's right. Can't tell which. The Usos are in the ring as we speak, celebrating the fact that they have all the gold, even though it's silver. All the gold and possibly the silver. Everything they need, basically. The red hair is very helpful from Jimmy. It means I know which one he is. Sometimes I struggle with that. But we are celebrating the success of Roman Reigns. I would be very, very surprised, if the crowd didn't really get behind this. It's Roman. He's earned this. He's genuinely earned this. My YouTube does seem to be struggling a little bit with the streaming software at the moment. Tommy says Pat McAfee is an awesome announcer on SmackDown. I agree. I didn't expect to love him the way I love him, but he's very much earned the right, as it were. First name drop of Kevin Owens on SmackDown already. I don't think it's impossible we'll see him. Big cheer for Brock as well. I keep forgetting he's popular. Sean says, I also saw that Okada said he'd like to face Triple H, and it's important to have wild dreams. This was from Fightful. Thank you, Sean, for the sourcing. Really do appreciate that. Okada probably would say that. Okada, for anyone who doesn't know, legitimately insane. It's great. Much like Kota Ibushi, legitimately insane. This seems like it's an attempt to say, we don't need no Heyman. We can do the talking. I don't hate it. I do feel as though our first 20 minutes is just going to be the introduction. I don't hate it. That's all I'm saying. I don't hate it. They spend a long time just watching the crowd during Roman's entrance. A long time. It's very carefully planned. Bailey says, where does WWE go post-Roman? Probably straight to Drew. I think they would go straight from Roman to Drew, but I don't think Drew's quite there yet. You know? I don't think Drew's quite where they want him to be. Not compared to Roman. After Roman, the next Roman as it were, much like Roman was the next Cena, you'd probably be looking at either Damian Priest or Bron Breakker. He's being groomed for the big time right now. I certainly don't see it being anyone who's stepping up in the next class. The next class, of course, includes Ciampa, Pete Dunne, LA Knight, and the like. It would have included Gargano and Cole, but we are where we are with that one. Tommy says, did you know Pat doesn't like to know what's going on? Beforehand, he wants a real-life reaction to what is going on. Sounds about right. Sounds very like Pat McAfee. Honestly, if I was a commentator, I'd be doing the same. I always wonder when they do those pre-show panels for the pay-per-view, the live events, the premium live events. I wonder who knows the results already, because everyone seems to pick in certain directions. Jerry Lawler is very rarely wrong. Same with Booker T. Even if it doesn't make any sense, they tend to be right. Dara says, hey Tom, welcome Dara, how you doing mate? And Megan says, Royal Rumble's on a Saturday. Also hi. Hi Megan. Also yes, Royal Rumble's on a Saturday. Only a week and a day away. See, I like the Royal Rumble, just as a point of fact, but on a Saturday is just so much better. So much better. I can sleep in all of Sunday. That's fine. There is no problem with that. I'm going out on a date just before it. That'll be nice. I've never been taken out on a date before. Like, I've taken people out on dates, but I've never been taken out on a date. It'll be fun. Also, King of Pro is here saying hi. Welcome, King of Pro. We are watching SmackDown right now. Roman Reigns is still not even in the goddamn ring. Come on. You can get in the ring. Step in the ring. Stop pointing. What's up? I don't know. They keep pointing up. What's up, mate? What's up? What's up, Roman? He's in the ring. Well done, Roman. Well done. He's in the ring. But yes, Dara, to answer your question, life's good, mate. Life's really good. 6 months ago, absolute car crash of a life. Fast forward 6 months, genuinely thrilled. Having a great time. Having a great time. Hope you're well as well, mate. Sean says, Hangman Page joked about not being in the Rumble but doesn't rule out the possibility. No one will rule out the possibility. There is a reason Kenny Omega always let his contract expire in January when he was in New Japan. He was suddenly everything everybody wanted to talk about. And Tommy says he's doing his best Undertaker impression. To be fair, Roman Reigns as the Undertaker, it kind of makes sense. Thank you, King of Pro, for the retweet. I do appreciate that. Every little does help with our growth. And after all, over on the YouTube, we are just looking for just two people to hit that subscribe. If you are watching on YouTube, please do remember that you can hit that like button. It makes a pretty big difference to the stream, to the show, and to our overall growth. Roman is waiting for a microphone. Paul Heyman is not there. Awkward. Little things like that make a big difference. Big difference. Oh, that sucks. Thanks for bringing that in, Simon. Oh, best friends Young Bucks off tonight, apparently. Well, COVID sucks. I think we can all agree on that. Tommy says, I hope Vince pushes Ciampa. He can be a main champ. I don't think he will ever pick up the main championships. I don't think Vince would trust him given his neck history and the fact that he wants to work a truncated schedule. If you are the champion, you tend to wrestle 200 to 300 matches a year. What? No, seriously, what? Once again, what? They introduced him and then commercial break. Okay, it's not a commercial break. Oh, okay, it's a Roman hype. We've seen Braun Strowman. We've seen Daniel Bryan. We're really going through the hits, aren't we? Seeing him stack them. The stack was so beautifully done. He's a beautiful man. Rey Mysterio now on the cover of WWE 2K22. Let's see him get mauled in a cage. Well, a cell, I should say. Edge looks terrible at the end of this. He's just being destroyed by everybody. No lie said by Roman. God mode fits. I think we even just saw him spear Nakamura. Get a little show in for Cena. Remember that guy? I didn't know there was a big dive over the top of Saudi Arabia. I still wouldn't care. Okay, you know what? This is great. It's amazing. You want someone to get over, you just have them win. It's weird, right? Roman's been the whole reign has been incredible. Absolutely incredible. Sean says, surprised WWE showing all their ex-wrestlers. To be fair, last week they showed quite a lot of Dean Ambrose. Quite a lot of Dean Ambrose. They don't seem to be that fussed, to be fair. Tommy says, Roman Reigns is not very good in solo. Disagree there, Tommy. Roman's done everything and done it perfect. Megan says it doesn't feel like it's been over 500 days, which is fair. Absolutely fair. And here comes the Seth before Roman can even talk. Justin says, what is Seth wearing? Which I feel is a fair question every single week. Just every single week. What is Seth wearing? He's wearing that. Oof. The shoes are still what gets me. Dara's enjoyed the Roman Reigns reign so far. I very much enjoyed it. It's because it's so big. If that was tailored a bit better, that would be all right. I will die on that hill. But that's like a Big Show coat. Ugh. Bailey says, here's a provocative question. Does WWE have a formal succession plan if Vince isn't there one day? What happens to the stock? The stock will crash and then recover because ultimately Nick Khan will take over running and operation of the company. He is the president of the WWE. Sean says, if Roman was a babyface, would this reign have been good? No, fans would have turned on it before Cena. 100%. Heels can have long championship runs. Babyfaces can't anymore. There is no one to cheer. No one. Seth throwing out the chosen one. Okay, these are the old lines used against Roman. Don't fit anymore. Usos look very proud of themselves. And Seth's not wrong either. It's worth pointing out, since Becky and Charlotte got real, the WWE have been trying to make things feel a bit more real. Mentioning the Shield, mentioning a John Moxley, a Dean Ambrose, that's the way to do it. I'm getting the feeling Seth and Kevin Owens are just going to try and get rid of the Usos. Literally did say Mox as well. Didn't say Ambrose, said Mox. There's a bit of electricity in the crowd now. I don't think he got the reaction he was looking for, but still. Very nice of Roman there saying little brother. Oh, we're getting real. They did, Tommy. Seth said, just like me and Mox. The crowd actually just want to listen. So Seth and Owens be against the Usos tonight. For a stipulation, and not a bad one. It's not impossible, Tommy. It's also in no way definite. You can see Roman just about to say no. You have to take the Usos out. Like literally cinder block to the head sort of take them out in order to stop this. I don't even know who just accepted the challenge. It was all just focused on Roman. Somebody just screwed up. Somebody just screwed up. Again, he already has a tag partner. How did you not see this coming? He literally has a tag partner. And you're here saying, oh, you can't find a partner. He has a tag partner. This is badly constructed. So it'll be Usos versus Rollins. Roman is retconning the agreement. Okay. Solo Sikoa is backstage apparently. Okay, well Seth's obviously not going to lose if he's going to lose a Royal Rumble match. That's obviously not going to happen. If anything, you just remove the stakes. Good camera work, good shift. Are we doing this now? Nope, main event. Tommy says, why is the Rumble on a Saturday? WWE finally done something right, that's why. Saturday pay-per-views are so much better than Sunday pay-per-views, especially if you're over in the UK. I can't be awake until 5 AM and then still work a shift at 9. We are opening with Kofi versus Madcap Moss. Well, it was good while it lasted. We had a good 20 minutes. Had a solid run. 20 minutes is about all we can expect, let's be honest. We have had our first commercial break. So, opening segment of SmackDown. Great fun. Absolutely fantastic. Everything I wanted. Although, bit dumb. Bit dumb. How could you not see that he has a partner? I like the mention of John Moxley. I feel he could have zeroed in on that a little bit stronger and we could have done a little bit extra. But, for what we were expecting, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins in multiple segments, it's exactly what we needed. That's our opening 20 minutes and our last half hour basically all set. That's 50 minutes of programming sorted. Justin Stevens says, very predictable. You're not wrong. You're absolutely not wrong. It's one of the reasons I'm thinking just a little bit dumb at times. particularly with Roman saying, if you lose, you don't get the match, then they're not going to take away the match. There is absolutely no reason they would take away the match. So Seth and Kevin Owens are winning, and that means Usos not at ringside. Usos not being at ringside does sway the odds in Seth's favour, which sways the odds in Roman's favour. I'm going to explain that because it sounds like garbage, but hear me out. With the Usos out of the picture, the WWE is suggesting to us, oh, there is a higher chance of Seth winning. And when the WWE suggests a winner to us, it's safe to assume the opposite, or safer. So if the Usos are out of the picture, it is more likely that Roman Reigns is going to win. It's much like when Mankind challenged The Rock to an I Quit match and said, it's a match that I can't lose. Somehow I don't think it's playing out the way you want it to. Tommy says Roman has been killing it lately, and he really has. Essentially, since his return at last year's SummerSlam, not the year before SummerSlam, he has just been absolutely dominant. Justin says, will the Rumble even main event this year? It didn't main event in 2006 or 2013. I am confident that it will. I'm not sure which one it's going to be. I think it'll be the men's this year to give Big E the send-off moment. I believe Big E will be winning the men's Royal Rumble. But it's hard to tell. There is a lot going on. For example, if Big E wins, would Big E then be taking on Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley, or Seth Rollins? You could main event with Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns, and even knowing who wins the Royal Rumble, it could give away nothing. There is a lot of interchanging of the matches. If, for example, Bobby Lashley wins, I think it's then safe to assume that Roman will win. But what if the Roman-Seth match comes before Brock versus Lashley? If Seth wins, you'd assume that Brock's going to win. But what if Seth wins and then Lashley? There is a lot going on. A lot going on. And if we end up with the status quo, Brock retains, Roman retains, how are we going to get to that at Mania? And then what would even be the point of winning the Rumble? So if Lashley loses in like the opening match and then wins the Rumble, but then Roman retains, are we then assuming a rematch between Brock and... This year's Royal Rumble is very interesting. That's what I'll say. The Hawkman says pain. Pain to see Happy Corbin. I've never known someone so happy be so misery-inducing. And to be clear, I actually like Baron Corbin. Quite a big fan. A little bit gassy, I do apologise. We have the formalisation of our main event. 2 wrestlers from Raw will take on the SmackDown Tag Team Champions to determine the match for the Royal Rumble. Justin says, I think Lashley beats Brock, but Brock wins the Rumble. Also a possibility, and honestly, not one I'd be angry about. I'd enjoy that. Mostly because it means Lashley beats Brock. Justin also says the brand split really is dead. I don't think it's dead. I don't think it's dead in any way, shape or form. They've bent the rules a little bit. But the wildcard rule was a lot worse than this, and the brand split stayed. By the by, there is a reason I intentionally washed and am now re-wearing my Seth Rollins shirt. Because why not? God, this is... I don't think I'm ever going to like Riddick Moss. Like, genuinely ever. I can't imagine a world in which I care about the guy. And he's with one of my... Baron Corbin is genuinely one of my favourites, but we are not there. Justin says, I'm ahead of you by a minute or two. Yeah, I'd imagine most people are. BT's Sport not the most reliable at the moment, and you also get the latency of the stream, which means even while I'm saying this, there is a delay between what I say and what is coming through to you guys. I'm not particularly worried about spoilers in chat. You guys can go right ahead. Oh, hey, Big E. What was I just saying about the brand split? This kind of undoes it. This is concerning. Like, this is a problem. Big E is a former WWE champion. He's now getting involved with Madcap Moss and Happy Corbin. That's concerning. Tommy says, hi everybody. Need to enjoy the modern era for wrestling today, but the old school is never going to be beaten. I disagree. Attitude Era, the wrestling was utterly terrible. Absolutely terrible. Storylines were okay. The ones people remember tend to just be the big ones. Sean is suggesting that Naomi versus Charlotte is a draw segment. I think that's a fair comment. I do think that's a fair comment. Just going to do a tweet because I'm genuinely concerned about what's happening with Big E right now. This is concerning for Big E. Last month, a WWE champion. This month, back up against Riddick Moss and Happy Corbin. Let's hope he's in line for a real big Royal Rumble showing. There we go. What do I Dreamcast is trending? Hockman says Kofi has so much fallen off since losing his title against Brock. See, here's the thing. Kofi normalized. He went back to where he was before he was in line for the championship. That's all it is. Kofi was never meant to be up here. He was always meant to be down here, just slowly going along. Briefly, he was up there, and then he came back down again. I worry they're doing the same with Big E. Tommy, not true. WWE do have huge stars. Sasha Banks, Roman Reigns, Becky Lynch. Yes, Seth Rollins. And hey, if you're a Bad Bunny fan, Damian Priest. Justin says, your Rumble pick is an amazing feud with Madcap Moss. Yep. That's my Rumble pick. Megan says, I'm just enjoying seeing Kofi and Big E together again. They never should have broke up New Day. They could have done all of this and still had the New Day working together. They could have done the whole thing. Justin says, will Woods ever complete the New Day trifecta? Yes. The New Day will never be that far apart. The moment will always come at which they reunite, and so the moment should. I do feel sometimes I feel like a Transformer narration. The moment will come. The moment is Xavier Woods reuniting with the New Day. The moment indeed. If you're currently watching on YouTube, please do remember to hit that thumbs up. That little icon can make a big difference in our view, so please do consider hitting that button. Simon says, your boy Jay White and the Bullet Club, Guerrillas of Destiny, teaming up the next 2 days at the Pensacola, Florida Impact tapings. I did not realise Guerrillas of Destiny had arrived. G.O.D. in the house. But yeah, anytime there is Jay White is probably the only time I watch Impact. Tommy, if the reason WWE isn't very good in your eyes is Vince McMahon, then the WWE would never have been very good. Right now, Vince McMahon is less involved than ever. Genuinely less involved than ever, and people keep blaming him. The thing is, I'm never going to be of the opinion that the Attitude Era was this be-all and end-all that so many people think it was. I've watched it back recently. It was not good. There was a hell of a lot of the Hollies just saying, we're super heavyweights. But we're super heavyweights. Then they'd punch someone for 2 minutes. Commercial break. It's all over. The only things people remember are the ridiculous and the absolutely fantastic. The absolutely fantastic, The Rock, Steve Austin. The ridiculous, Mark Henry. Sexual Chocolate giving birth to the Hand from Mae Young. The Dudley Boys powerbombing everyone through tables. TLC, to be fair. These are the things that actually stand out. What people forget is the vast majority of the Attitude Era. Kane being chased out of a Royal Rumble by white coat orderlies trying to get him to an insane asylum. Remember that? X-Pac, Just Incredible, and Albert. Do you remember Albert as the Intercontinental Champion? I do. Do you remember how desperately they tried to get Mosh over as Chaz because his girlfriend was abusing him? Do you remember that storyline? Attitude Era wasn't all that. Megan says, question for everyone. Who is someone from NXT you would love to see in the Rumble outside of the obvious picks? If I'm going outside of the obvious picks, and you guys may need to remind me of this one, because I still remember him as Parker Boudreaux. I think is it Harland now? I think it's Harland now. But you know what? I'd like to see him get involved. I'd like to see him and Brock have a stare down. It would be great. Tommy says, Undertaker is always awesome no matter the era. I agree. I really do. I can see that Tommy's a big fan of the American Badass as well. Tommy's a fan of Eugene. I've met Eugene. Nice guy. Bailey says, Attitude Era had some real clunkers. Kurgan, the Truth Commission. Everybody remember the Truth Commission? Mark Merrow, Gilbert. Yeah. Do you remember Midian carrying an eye around and then for some reason having no clothes on? Remember all the racism from Triple H? Simon is asking, hard question, who wins? Punk or MJF? Meltzer apparently says the match is in Punk's hometown of Chicago in February. And do you think Wardlow turns on MJF there? No, I think they'll have a clean win, and I think that clean win will be for CM Punk. Tommy thinks Io for the Rumble. I do think she's one of the obvious names, but I get what you're saying. Sean says, Cassie Lee tweeted out, come on, what the fuck? In regard to Sean losing to CM Punk in quick fashion. Sean Spears, not a big deal. Funnily enough, he's in a very similar position to what he was in at WWE. Megan says, it is Harland, thank you. Wasn't too far off. Justin is suggesting Cameron Grimes. Sean says, Cora Jade, good shout, I'd like that. Joe Gacy, Tony D'Angelo. Not the big obvious ones, but still people who've made big impacts so far in their time. Tommy, we're not going back to The Undertaker. That is not happening. Absolutely not. It is always nice seeing every now and then people just marking out together. A little bit of Io Shirai love going on at the moment. You guys know what I think. I would like to see Dakota Kai in the Royal Rumble and at WrestleMania and winning all the championships, beating Becky and Charlotte. Just everything. Everything. Works for me. Justin says, quite rightly, 30 minutes into SmackDown and we have seen 3 Raw stars. May have to rethink my opinion on the whole concept of the brand split dying. Kofi Kingston has beaten Madcap Moss. Baron Corbin was briefly looking like a big deal. Not anymore. Big E fending off Baron Corbin before he can come in and essentially pick up his guy. Corbin's heading back out again. The one good thing about the New Day breaking up is that the New Day can keep getting back together. Big E, this is mean. No, Big E, this is unnecessary. It's not a face. I do like that Moss actually kneels down and bends his head for the big ending. Happy Corbin, big ending. Happy ending. Said a thing. Regret saying the thing. Said a thing regardless. Gonna tweet that. Slight flub on stream. Big ending plus Happy Corbin equals Tom saying Big E's happy ending. Yep, that is a thing that happened. Tommy says WWE need a better female roster after the Royal Rumble 2022. They do. They will get it very quickly. Sean says Tony Storm is trending. I believe that's because of an Impact connection that's been made by Deonna Purrazzo. I did have a quick look at that before I came online. Megan says, my picks would be Zach Gibson and Ivy Nile, by the way. I'm very impressed by Ivy Nile. She looks like a proper badass, which is terrifying, and I like that. Zach Gibson as well, naturally I'm a fan. Justin says, unpopular opinion, but American Badass Undertaker was more interesting than Dead Man Undertaker. I agree. Here's the thing with Dead Man Undertaker. He's just sort of a dead man. Like, why does he wrestle? Why is a dead guy interested in gold and championships? Why is a dead guy working for Vince McMahon or Shane McMahon or the higher power? Yeah, here we are. Aaliyah is on her way down to the ring. Looks like she'll be taking on Natalya again. Won't be any records this time. I'd imagine this is going to be 50-50. It is indeed Aaliyah versus Natalya again. Simon says, Punk wins. Shocker. Everybody's saying MJF. Wrestle Talk did today. Hard one to call. Both in line for world title shots along with Cole. After Lance Hoyt Archer Hangman feud is over. I wouldn't say CM Punk is in line for any particular championships at this point. I don't think he's particularly interested right now either. But MJF is definitely one that they are progressing for the future. Working with CM Punk alone is a huge positive. It will help him to develop, help put him in front of a greater audience, and do him the world of good as well. Bailey says either Aaliyah has the worst face push since Nikki Cross, or she has just no ring presence, or maybe both. I get what you're saying. I don't know why I'm supposed to care about Aaliyah. I get that they're trying to give her a selling point, like she has a record now. She's just so damn happy to be there, but it's coming across like, hi, I'm Dolph Ziggler. Hi, I'm Dolph Ziggler. I'm Dolph Ziggler. Hi, I'm Dolph Ziggler. It's not good. It's not good. She needs a character. To be fair, this is a big advantage of Shotzi turning heel. She ended up with a character. And Justin says, did you know Edge was supposed to be Val Venus? I did. Do you remember when they did the storyline? I believe Edge was dating Val Venus' sister. So they did a storyline in which Edge had to prove himself to Val Venus to earn the right to date his sister when he was already dating his sister. Yeah. Nobody seems to remember that. Attitude Era. It's all crap. People always forget the worst parts of the Attitude Era. But there's so many of them, guys. There are so many. Megan says, I don't think we're getting MJF versus Paige before the summer. For me, it's Cole versus Paige once the Archer match is done. MJF will probably be facing Wardlow first. All of this makes sense to me. Cole versus Paige is very logical, especially given that he would be standing in front of Kenny Omega to make that happen. Ultimately, I don't think Paige would be beating Paige either. Nope, I merged them again. I don't think Cole would be beating Paige either, because I think that leads us nicely into Adam Cole versus Kenny Omega. A lot of betrayal coming. Simon says, I really miss Bianca and Liv on SmackDown. SmackDown Women's Division without Sasha or Bayley is very unfortunately on live support. And it is. Also about Toni Storm, of course. Just, there's a lot of people missing or just gone. We haven't seen much of Shayna Baszler. She could be filling a role here. She could be doing something. It looked like she was going to be in a tag team with Natalya, and then that's just been abandoned entirely. Not seen Shotzi for a while either. We could be getting Aaliyah versus Shotzi now, but here we are. Justin says, not to be a dick, but Aaliyah sucks and I have zero desire to see Natalya wrestle. Slight bit dickish, mate. Just slight bit. I get what you're saying. It's all in phrasing. I get that you're not interested in watching Natalya wrestle. I still think she's an incredibly good wrestler, but I've not seen her have a good match in a long time. She needs the right opponent. Aaliyah isn't it. But the reason everyone works in Natalya is because essentially if you're in a feud with Natalya, it means they don't have confidence in you. If you're feuding with Natalya, you're training. Sean says, does Bryan beat Hangman for the belt? No. When it comes to beating Hangman Page, I don't think the eventual winner has really stepped out of the murk yet. I think it'll be someone who's currently upper mid-card / mid-card. I think MJF might be another shout, but I think he's 8 months to a year away yet. They are once again repeating that we are going to see Owens and Rollins versus the Usos tonight. Looks like that is going to be something that they push constantly. Tommy says there is some bad stuff in the 90s that fans now would hate and make fun of. Absolutely there is. At some point, we'll have to go back and watch it. Because it sucks. Justin also says Summer Rae is now a legend. Yep, she's in that category. I keep waiting to hear Alicia Fox referred to as a legend. I think she's been called a vet before. Oh, look, there she is. She did not realise she was on camera, and she was adjusting her cleavage. Bless her. Also, I don't think she can move her face very much. Like... Okay, I like that to Natalya. I like that. Megan says, I hope Shayna isn't being kept off TV just to get a pop in the Rumble. Also, she should have won in 2020, not Charlotte. I agree, and you all know I agree for a reason. Thank you, Jay Quick, for the host, and thank you very much for joining us, mate. Hope you're well. How you doing? And Tommy said a lot of squash matches in the 90s as well. Yeah, quite a lot. Quite a lot. There are some matches that have been forgotten about. When The Rock first joined the Nation, he took on The Undertaker in a match that lasted about 40 minutes of a 2-hour Raw. Why? Because the Nation just kept getting involved at every possible option. But it was The Rock versus The Undertaker at a time when The Rock wasn't The Rock. He was still Rocky Maivia, and he could not line up against The Undertaker. He just couldn't. The creation of The Rock is great to revisit. The moment at which the fans first got behind The Rock is when The Undertaker, once again, was about to attack D'Lo Brown. And The Rock decided, you know what? No. I'm a walkout. I'm going to get in the way. He got his arse kicked. He got his arse beat badly. But it made the crowd invested. Because he was defending his man. That's what started the turn. Glad to know you're alright, mate. Megan says, I'm still mad they've announced so many for the Women's Rumble. Hopefully they don't announce anyone else. It's interesting that there's no Lita this week. Tell you that. This match is going to go the distance. That could work against them. Bit of a sloppy roll up there. You were supposed to go through the ropes, not into them. Oh. Simon says, Xylee and catering once again. Really hope she doesn't get released. Great talent, deserves a lot better. I don't think they're willing to release many people at the moment. I'm not sure what the story was with Toni Storm. I think she just refused to work. Pat McAfee very nearly swearing like the rest of us want to as well. Well, Aaliyah won. A disqualification for Natalya. Why are you sat in the corner smiling? You just got your ass beat. And you know you're going to get beat up some more. Sean says, I think Carmella's dad was a jobber in the 90s. Quite a few were, to be fair. There's a lot of people who are second and third generation. Well, she's not quite in catering. So this was an excuse to have the Protector turn up. To be clear, with the amount of time you are spending on your entrance, Xylee, Natalya could have broken Aaliyah in half. Just get to the ring. You're the Protector. Go and protect her. Do you remember in NXT when Rhea Ripley was supposed to be saving someone and she just did her whole entrance instead? Oh, botched getting into the ring. She botched getting into the ring. How do you botch getting into the ring? Jay Quick says, I just watched an old school WWF match. The Genius and the Beverly Brothers versus Max Moon and High Energy. Yeah, we all paper over those cracks, don't we? Simon says, watching Aaliyah is as bad as watching England and the Ashes get demolished. England have won the Ashes before. Stranger things have happened. I'd say give Aaliyah time, but she's not actually been given time to wrestle, so. Megan said it's sad that more effort was likely paid to Xylee's entrance than the whole women's division. Yeah. It sucks, but it is what it is. Moxie, welcome, mate. Says, I'm really sorry for being late, Tom. No worries, man. No worries. You have your own life. You do your own thing. Welcome to the show. Pat McAfee is basically just going nuts. Webster's English Dictionary. We're getting a thesaurus mode. Do you reckon Michael Cole enjoys his job? He's corpsing. He's actually corpsing. He is full on corpsing. Well done on the recovery there, Michael Cole. He was losing his shit. He was losing it. Los Lotharios are on their way down. We have the draw segment in just 10 minutes, so whatever match this is, it's going to be short. Sean says nothing for Shotzi, or is she still being kept off for the crowd surfing incident? Bit of both. She wouldn't be on TV anyway, but they can say, oh, it's because of the crowd surfing, when in reality, they just have nothing for her. Right, we have Viking Raiders versus Los Lotharios up next. Viking Raiders probably going to pick up the win. They are, after all, the #1 contenders. Justin says Xylee will make it 22 announced for the Rumble, assuming she's in. They kind of have to have her in, let's be fair. There is no one else. Tommy says Katie Vick's story was bad. I think if that happens now, people would be wrecking WWE. Oh, absolutely they would. They still wrecked WWE when they did it 20 years ago. Moxie says Tommy is starting to think that Seth is winning. It's a good question. I'm less sure than I was, but still quite sure that Roman will retain. J. Quick says, we wonder where Xia was. Somewhere's the cheesecake that was abandoned. To be fair, that happened with Becky Lynch one time with quinoa. She had to abandon it to go and help Charlotte, as I recall. Simon says if Summer Rae is now a legend, then Kai and Tai for the Hall of Fame. To be fair, Taka Michinoku always did great stuff. And have you seen Dick Togo recently? The man is... Oof. Like, if you do a before and after on Dick Togo, oh. I'd be interested to hear more people's opinions on Dick Togo, especially when he wears a white suit. Tommy says Cole likes having Pat. Cole said he's having the most fun he's had in a while now. That's what I mean. He's corpsing. He can't handle it. It's amazing. Bailey says Katie Vick was pre-social media, so WWF called a huge PR break, essentially. Yeah, managed to dodge that bullet, and I imagine they were very, very happy about it. Tommy, you're right. The reason that Roman is doing We the Ones right now is actually because he wants to show respect to Funaki, who's SmackDown announcer #1. We all know this. Justin wants to see Mean Street Posse in the Hall of Fame. Rodney, P-Gas and Joey Abs will undoubtedly be the ones to induct Shane McMahon. And that is how it should be. But Shane McMahon, as we know, is still wrestling. He will be wrestling Austin Theory at WrestleMania for sure. That is going to be happening. So he can't go into the Hall of Fame just yet. He's an active wrestler. Moxie says, Tom, I think that John Cena will be inducted into the Hall of Fame next year. This year, Batista will be inducted. Would make sense. I don't think John Cena's going in anytime soon. He will have to actually formally retire, and I think he still sees a lot left in the tank. He is essentially The Rock at this point. Sorry, guys. JQ says, I want to see Demolition in the Hall of Fame. I don't see that one happening. At most, we're going to get about 5 minutes of wrestling here. I don't think the Viking Raiders have even had their entrance yet. Justin says, I'm shocked they never did Shane versus Triple H for control of the WWE. I'm sure they've wrestled, but as I recall, Shane was usually in Triple H's corner, with the exception being WrestleMania 2000, when there was a McMahon in every corner. Funny old world. Jay Quick, Batista is not already in the Hall of Fame. He was going to go in last year, but he wasn't available, so it didn't happen. I don't really see many people chanting Raid. A few people are trying to get into it, but it's hit and miss. Viking Raiders are over when they get going. The entrance, not so much. I miss the Viking Profits. That was just... When you look back at pandemic era, I think the only thing I'm actually going to remember is the Viking Profits. Because it was just amazing. Tommy says, Vince should have had Shane versus Triple H. If Triple H wins, still controls NXT. If he loses, he doesn't. Good storyline. Not really, though. Not really. I disagree on that one, because ultimately, Triple H doesn't want to be an executive. He doesn't want to be in charge of things. He just wants to wrestle. Sean says, who would induct Jericho? Good question. Good question. Probably Stephanie. I think Chris Jericho would request Stephanie to induct him. Him and Stephanie have a real strong bond. Jay Quick says, yes, Shane and Triple H wrestled when the storyline started with Vince and Triple H. Makes sense. Shane defending the honour of his dad, who then turned on Shane to be with Triple H again. A lot happened. Justin says, Usos versus Viking Raiders for the Rumble kickoff, I'm assuming. Good work. Good work. And Megan says, Viking Profits were funny. You could see how well they get on. There was love there. There was love. Tommy, Triple H still runs NXT, even though it is NXT 2.0. Triple H is still in charge. He's just kind of in charge in name only. A lot more involvement of Bruce Pritchard and John Laurinaitis now. That, unfortunately, is what I'm dreading, Megan. Shane appearing to take on Austin Theory to earn the love of Pop Pop. And speaking of things no one wants to see, Shane McMahon. Maybe we'll see Stephanie win the Royal Rumble. I want to say stranger things have happened, but I don't think they have. I mean, it's Stephanie McMahon winning the Royal Rumble. We all know it's going to happen eventually. Dean Ambrose is trending. Literally, Dean Ambrose is trending, as is The Shield. Not Jon Moxley, Dean Ambrose. Surprised he hasn't reacted, but to be fair, he also really doesn't enjoy social media. Not a bad match so far, to be honest. Fast-paced. Megan says, Shane and Steph are in the GM mode for 2K22. I think that's fair. Oh, wow. That was nice by Eric. I think it's fair. As nice as it would be to have Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville, it's not clear as to who's Raw, who's SmackDown. But Shane and Stephanie's a more classical choice. Makes sense. Tommy says, who's your favourite NXT 2.0 wrestler that wasn't on Black and Gold? Probably Cora, to be honest. I don't recall her on Black and Gold, but I really like her work, so... Simon is saying, were you a fan of ECW growing up? I never watched it. I still have never watched it. I've never watched a single installment of anything ECW related, any incarnation of ECW. Needless violence doesn't always appeal to me. We have ourselves a draw segment incoming. So naturally they are giving us backstory for Naomi. I expect to see Sonya Deville find a way to make sure Naomi doesn't pick up the win here. Naomi is an outside chance to win the Rumble. Just want to be clear on that. Yes, Jay Quick. 4 GMs I feel is a good amount of options. You could then have, for example, someone running Raw, someone running SmackDown, someone running NXT, and be competitive on it. Naomi is now making her entrance. As Megan says, people not having mini raves in the crowd during Naomi's entrance just makes me a little sad. Here's the thing, and I'm hesitant to say it, but I have to say it. Naomi's entrance is kind of her entire character. They're giving her a little bit more personality with Sonya, but her promos boil down to, yeah, I'm going to win a fight and then feel the glow. Her entrance is feeling the glow. She had a light up championship. She's a raver. We get that. But, like, why are you chasing championships? Just, I'd like to see a bit more personality from her, basically is what I'm trying to say. Now, I'm just going to get myself a fresh drink and then I'll be back. So I'm going to take a quick minute-long break. I'll see you all in just a moment. Please don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Apologies for the delay there, but I seem to have come back at exactly the right time. Sonya Deville is doing what you might expect, getting involved and getting herself a referee shirt for the match. Jay Quick suggests that Naomi needs to turn heel and join the Bloodline. I don't think the answer is always turn heel, but in this instance, I wouldn't be mad. Smooth by Charlotte, literally doing a full-ass twirl around Sonya. It was not especially graceful, but it worked out. Simon is saying the reason Tony to Impact rumours are strong is because Finn Juice, the tag team, Juice Robinson is her husband / fiance. Well, then there should definitely be rumours of Tony Storm going to Stardom because Juice Robinson also wrestles in Japan. Mega says, I'm cautiously optimistic about 2K22. Me too. I'm excited by the addition of the GM mode. I think that can go far. We can do good stuff with that. But it's an interesting one going forward. I'm not sure what the plan is, you know? If they've ironed out the bugs, as I've been repeatedly assured that they have, I think we could have quite a good game. I just don't think it's going to be good enough for me to really bother with it, you know? Moxie says, and he's been quite right here, Naomi can attack Sonya Deville because she does not have a jacket on. Nope, she has a referee's shirt, so she could get fined. But what's a fine? It's only a little fine. Could be worse. Naomi starting her comeback. Sonya's just sort of hover. Oh, that Hurricane Rana did not work. Good audible from Charlotte into the Boston Crab. I'd imagine that Hurricane Rana was supposed to land. It just didn't. Sonya Deville briefly blocking Naomi from accessing the ropes there. I like that. Do a sit-up. I've always thought with Boston Crab you could just do a sit-up. Oops, Sonya Deville just got punched in face. Hey Ethan, how you doing, mate? Great to see you. Oh. They gave Naomi a visible pin. Charlotte is apparently just completely unconscious. Hello, Pro Wrestling Reaper. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the show. We are an Ask Me Anything stream. We are currently watching WWE Smackdown. Welcome and have a great time. Oh, figure 4 in place. Not quite a figure 8 yet. Bridge isn't even in play, and Sonya Deville's like, yeah, she gave up, whatever. So that was exactly what it always is. Literally nothing of interest happened there. Interesting seeing someone on the outside waving the championship at Charlotte, like, do you want this? Do you want this? Do you want it? She does want it now. She's got a pose of it. I find it telling that after that initial moment of Sonya Deville holding up Charlotte's arm, we have not seen much more of Sonya and Charlotte standing together. We have not seen any sort of unite there. Charlotte is being kept separate from Sonya Deville. She's not really a part of this storyline. Sean says, I've seen a lot of Roman and Sasha fans are angry that Ray's on the cover. They need to get over that shit. It's a game cover. It's not that big a deal. I'm doing good, Ethan. Doing real good. I'm very excited for the Royal Rumble. I think it's going to be a very good Royal Rumble this year. Sam is saying Tori Wilson or Kane X-Pac in the Rumble. X-Pac has been cleared to wrestle now. What's the value of having X-Pac in the Royal Rumble? I would rather have someone who might be there the next day. I'm not that big on the whole one-off surprises unless they're big. X-Pac would not be. Bailey says Naomi should just level Sonya and get fined, but we don't know who's paying the fines. Turns out to be the Bloodline. Basically anything that gets us to a point where Naomi's in the Bloodline, I'm there for it. Just get in there. Gonna sneeze. Bear with me one moment. Ugh. Megan says, I'm over the feud, honestly. It's getting into lazy territory with a corrupt official. And just saying Sonya Naomi's story is old AF. Sean says, how much longer before Sonya removes Naomi from the Rumble or makes her number one? Doesn't. There's only one show left until the Rumble, mate. Looks like it's not happening at all. My hope is that Sonya will just get involved in the Rumble, personally. We get a good old-fashioned Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins moment. These two have pretty good chemistry. But Kevin Owens has pretty good chemistry with everyone. He's just genuinely a great guy. Pat McAfee with a perfect pencil toss. Sami Zayn time. KJ says Ray's on the game cover while Sonya is on the cover of the WWE, to be fair. She is a cover star. She is one of the biggest names. They chose Ray this time, and honestly, I don't begrudge the guy. Not at all. It's not his fault. Ethan says, do you think there will be a good surprise in the Rumble? No, but I think there will be surprises in the Rumble. Simon says, Britt Baker overrated, yes or no? No, because ultimately I think she's accurately rated. People think she's good for AEW. She's definitely the best in AEW. Megan says, I still don't get why Jimmy isn't even mentioning this during his segments, considering the importance of family of the Bloodline. She's family. Maybe there's something going on behind the scenes. I'd like to see it. At some point you get some interaction between Roman and Sonya. Afterwards, Roman and Jay walk off. And Jimmy's just sort of like... and then goes. Just that little hold would be enough to get the entirety of social media off their nut. Would be fun. KJ, she's family, mate. She's family. Bloodline or not, family's family. That's why Paul Heyman was there for so long. He's not blood, but he is family. Hey, Wiggly Man, how you doing? Gonna stick with that. He's the Wiggly Man. Of all the Wiggles that wiggled, he's the wiggliest. The Wiggler has arrived. Hello, Wiggle. We are now firmly into our second hour of tonight's WWE Smackdown. So far, how has the show been? Well, the wrestling has been brief. Roman's been good. Seth's been good. I want to say that's it. What is going on with me today? I want to say so far, yeah, that's it. Because I think it's fair to say that, yeah, so far that's it. Roman and Seth have been great. KO's been good. The actual wrestling has been completely forgettable. Has had no impact whatsoever on anything. All of the storylines seem to be just in a holding pattern at the minute. Got to get something good. Megan says, considering they're usually so quick to tell us these two are a couple. Look at this couple. Yes, this couple right here. Did you know they're a couple? With other pairs, it just bugs me a little because that would actually add something to the story. It would. Paul Heyman has alluded to it in the past. I don't get why they're sitting on something that could be gold. Honestly, the reason I think they're sitting on it is because they're just trying to give Naomi something to do. The storyline hasn't developed. I don't think anything's actually been written for it beyond, oh, let's do something with Naomi. Put her with Sonya. And that happened in like May and we're still doing it. Justin says, is the 1992 Rumble overrated? No idea which one that is, so yes. Moxie says it's been good. Have you enjoyed SmackDown, mate? Jericho says, what were your thoughts on Bully Ray's take that Jon Moxley should have apologised to his fans? Bully Ray is a fucking moron for that. That's all it is. Wiggly says, much as I like Xia Li, her promos are cringe. I haven't seen a promo of hers yet. I imagine I'm about to. Simon is saying, everybody watching Mox's comeback match tonight on AW Rampage. Quite a few people here will move on to different channels by the end of the show. I don't cover Rampage here, but quite a few people will pop over on Twitch to another stream to watch that. So it's a fun one. Ooh. Justin's got some bets going. My Rumble winners this year are 7, 13, and 26. Winner gets $500. Not bad, not bad. Oh, 92 is Ric Flair. No, that was great. That was a great year. Megan says the Rumble winner odds are gone from Sky Bet. They've moved on to WrestleMania main events. Currently, Becky versus Bianca is a favourite for night 1 at 5-1. While Brock versus Roman is a favourite for night 2 at 6-5. Right, so the suggestion is that we're going to get a Becky Lynch main event and a Roman Reigns main event. Funny that. Thank you, Megan, for sharing that. Oh, it's the Johnny Knoxville thing again, isn't it? This is going to suck. Sean says, Naomi, someone WWE likes and wouldn't release, just asking is all. No one is guaranteed safe from release. Likes, it depends on who you speak to. Different people like different people. Simon believes the best Rumble was 2001. I'm still there for 2008. Hey, Robs, how you doing? Says 92 is top tier. Ric Flair, man. Ric Flair. You've got to think of it in context as well. He just arrived in the company. He was a WCW guy through and through. He turned up and he won the Rumble after starting from number 3, I think it was. That didn't happen at that point. It just didn't. He was the first Iron Man. The debate, of course, is first and best. Maybe. I'm sorry, is Sami Zayn about to cattle prod himself? Is Sami Zayn about to walk into a feud with Goldberg? Oh, 99 wasn't bad just because Vince McMahon won. Worst Rumble was still Del Rio winning. Nobody's laughing, mate. This is becoming This Is Your Life sort of crap. Megan says Paddy Power do still have Royal Rumble winner odds. For the men, Drew and Big E are favourites, tied at 9-4. Drew. Followed by Brock on 5-1. AJ 8-1, then The Rock and Bobby on 14-1. For the women, it's Bianca first at 11-4, then Bayley and Alexa at 11-2, with Raquel, Rhea and Charlotte tied on 15-2. Some very good options there. Sean says, this is the stuff they give a guy who just re-signed. Yeah, because he'll have an Intercontinental Championship in a couple of weeks. Couple more weeks, he'll have the Intercontinental Championship. He'll be heading into WrestleMania with it. I'm not really worried. The thing with Sami Zayn, and I mean this as a positive, it's all about the money, because he's able to do Sami for Syria because of the money. He takes from the WWE and he spends it on much more worthwhile and liberal endeavours. Honestly, it's a pretty good business model. He will embarrass and deface himself however much is necessary to fix the world. That's his thinking, and it's a good plan. Rob says, number 3, also the first time title was on the line. Brings a tear to my eye. Ethan says, in your opinion, who do you think will win the men's and women's Royal Rumble? Well, my opinion is probably Bianca Belair and Big E, but I hope for Bayley. Justin says 40 people was just too many. Imagine if the women's Rumble was 40. Well, it wouldn't happen this year. Bayley believes that Sami is cringeworthy. Pro Wrestling Reaper is very happy to see WWE 2K22 bringing back the GM mode. I'm happy about that. I liked the Battle of the Brands that they did on Up Up Down Down when Up Up Down Down was still doing stuff. Good times. Long time ago. Galaxy far, far away. Megan says, this is a wheel spinning show, isn't it? Yeah. no storyline advisement of any kind here. Simon thinks that Brock and Sasha are going to win the Rumble. Megan is saying, for fuck's sake, Knoxville had his own Tron. He does. He does. Oh, we're going to find out it's not a real one and it's all sound effects. Right, so now he's going to get cattle prodded. Megan says this is a lot of effort for what's probably going to be a meh movie. Yeah, but I imagine they're getting paid a lot. I mean, zombies happened. The sound effects really don't help. This is just awkward. So the most important thing is that Jackass got over. That happened. It's difficult sometimes doing these watch parties when there is nothing to talk about. As I say that, Eric Bischoff turns up on my TV. Why is Eric Bischoff on my TV? There's a surprise. Well, we know Eric Bischoff isn't going to be a GM because he's not in the 2K trailer. This can only go badly for Sonya. Are we about to get some storyline advancement? Okay, so next week it's Naomi Sonya. We've been here before, several times. This is not new. Is that leadership? That's just a match that we... Sonya Deville herself has made that match several times. You can't punish her with something she has made happen. Justin says Johnny Knoxville's more over than 80% of the SmackDown roster. You are not wrong. Megan says, for the love of actual gods, Knoxville is somehow more over than most of the roster. I like how we agree on different platforms. At least with the zombies I can make Walking Dead jokes. Yeah, and you can always make like Jackass. No, they're not funny. They're not funny. We are about to have Ricochet versus Sheamus. I want to say again. Is it again? I want to say again. This is a bad show. Simon is suggesting bring back Eazy-E as GM of Raw or SmackDown. He would take the payday, but I don't think he'd move. Not after last time. He moved across the damn country to be there and available, and then they fired him. Because of... It was Fox doing it as well. Fox doing it. Nothing's really changed on that degree. Moxie just said, this is a bad show. It's stale. It's stale and it's dull. Sean says, why has SmackDown been awful since the draft? Mostly they changed names. They lost some big names. They lost Seth, they lost Edge, they lost Bianca. That was a big loss. They lost Becky when they had her. They've got Nakamura unavailable right now. They've lost more women. Nothing interesting or exciting is happening right now. It's either Roman or bust. And even then, Roman is only just saving it. Raw's improved, I'll say that. But right now you've got Sami Zayn working with Johnny Knoxville, which, you know, is definitely building the future for the WWE. I don't know what to make of it. It's just disappointing on every level. I'm confident that we're going to get a very good match between Seth, KO and the Usos later on. The main event picture is good, but there's a reason it's taking up like 50 minutes of the show. Rob says quite rightly, McIntyre out didn't help either. No, not at all. He at least has some star power. We don't get a lot of star power without him. Also, the loss of Jeff Hardy is a bit of a killer. I'm confident Jeff Hardy would have been in Seth Rollins' spot now if he was still with the company. Justin says WWE is going to be in big trouble in 3 to 5 years. They're in pretty big trouble now, to be honest with you, mate. The issue is, as much as anything, they are one key injury away. That key injury is Roman. If Roman picks up an injury and is out for 3 months, what the hell are they going to do? Like, genuine question. If Roman is injured and can't perform for the next week, say he breaks his nose like Sheamus has done so many times, what are they actually going to do? There's nothing they can do. This is especially true while Xavier Woods is out. He is a draw, but there's a reason we're getting a whole load of Charlotte in the draw segment. She's a powerful figure. She's a draw. She's not Sasha Banks, though. As I said earlier, if I made an entire YouTube channel just of Sasha Banks videos, where I just made a video every day saying, "Isn't Sasha Banks great?" I'd be a rich man right now. KJ said Charlotte versus Naomi, Ricochet versus Sheamus, Kofi versus Moss, Natalya versus Leah, all happened last week. Raiders versus Garza and Humberto happened a few weeks ago. Megan said it best. Pure spinning wheels. Megan says Sheamus did face Ricochet last week. Sheamus won in just under 10 minutes. Here we go, 2K trailer. Just a lot going on with chairs. Lashley in mocap is hilarious. Is it going to be a good game? That's the question. It looks like a very similar game to all of the previous ones, let's be fair. I don't know if there's necessarily going to be anything special about it. Hopefully, the selling point for me will be the GM mode, but I'll wait and see if people actually like that first. There's even an Undertaker. What I haven't seen so far is any of the aforementioned released wrestlers that are apparently still in the game. That I'll be interested to learn about. Interesting that the only legends shown are Ultimate Warrior and Randy Savage. No Hulk Hogan. Guru says, what was the cheesy electricity sound effect during that segment for? Comedy? KJ says, Roman can break his nose, he can still show up. Doesn't wrestle every week, but I see your point. Yeah, you get me. Megan says, if Roman and Charlotte get injured, SmackDown is screwed. Not even just giving Kofi and Sami the whole show to chat about how Corbin is a hobo again would help. And it wouldn't. The thing is, you look at people, even just in the ring right now, they've got Sheamus. He could be a main event player. They're not pitching him like that, though, because he's just not been involved in the main event. You give me Sheamus versus Lashley, I'm sold on Sheamus. You give me Sheamus versus Brock, I'm sold on Sheamus. Sheamus versus Roman could work. Cesaro, they pushed him hard the first half of this year, then forgot he existed. Just forgot he existed. You've got people there, you're just not using them. Last week, I believe Cesaro was in a tag team with Mansoor. This week, just no Cesaro. And hey, where's Mustafa Ali? Megan says, I did like Roman just driving by with a sword and a chair shot, but is that because of Roman's gorgeous smile? He looks like he's very much enjoying his life. Megan says, the pre-order bonus is a free Undertaker pack. Special edition is focused on the NWO. I'm not that interested in the NWO bit personally. The free Undertakers, I can take it or leave it. The thing is, I don't really buy the game to play the actual wrestling part. My GM, I'd be interested in that. And ultimately, I did just get a raise, so I can justify buying the game. I can buy games again. That changes everything. I could afford a console upgrade. That changes things. I'll have to have a think about that. Anyway, Justin says Lashley, Styles, Lesnar, Mysterio, Sheamus, Balor, etc. all in their 40s. Indeed, some of them have started to wind down. I would say Mysterio, Balor, maybe even Styles have begun to wind down later in their career. Meanwhile, Lashley is just reaching his peak. Lesnar's still good. Obviously, can still go for a few more years. Sheamus as well. I think there's another championship run in the guy. Kuro says, if you're bringing Knoxville in as a celebrity guest, let him actually gently tase people. That's all he can really do. Really, let's be fair. Megan says, Ricochet not getting an entrance isn't good, but it's also okay since I won't have to hear his new music. Why would they change it? His theme was a banger. Like, his theme was genuinely one of my favourites. Every now and then I'd get out of the show and I'd just be like, dun, 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 dun. You know? It was good. Oh. Nice knee. Great sell. I mean, we know Ricochet's good. That knee was perfect. Right on the shoulder as well. Well protected. He was able to land. Oh, it was beautiful. Megan says, the smile is everything. And it is. I'm hoping it's on Game Pass and I won't have to buy it. Fair. I keep forgetting Game Pass exists. If I get a new console, I could actually keep up with the stream. Sean says Gargano wasn't shown in the trailer or Ciampa. Was anyone really from NXT? I don't think there were many NXT people there. Ricochet loses clean. Sheamus is being protected. Maybe for a Battle Royal opportunity? Maybe a tag team title shot? Maybe Zayn versus Sheamus will be our Intercontinental Championship match for Mania. KJ said they should just have Ali drop a pipe bomb. Let him get everything out like he did on Legends Night during Raw Talk. That's when he cuts his best promos. I worry if they give him a microphone now, the first thing he'll say is, fuck Vince. Because he just does not want to be there anymore. He will do anything to try and get out. Like, he will. He will succeed. Sean says, Death Rebel is changing everything. Surprised they haven't touched KO, Asuka and Bianca themes. Yeah, but like, it sucks. It's a great theme. And don't say anything about the Asuka theme. They can't take it. They cannot take it. I am the future. Justin says Sheamus versus Nakamura. I'm there. But I would throw a few more names in. At WrestleMania, give me Sheamus versus Nakamura versus Zayn versus Cesaro. Sheamus and Cesaro are literally fighting it out for the one championship they've never got. Well, obviously, Cesaro has never been a world champion, but Cesaro has said to me in an interview in 2019, I think, that he and Sheamus are on a race for the Intercontinental Championship. A lot of fun can be had with that match. KJ is saying, where does this Sheamus push lead? I'm hoping back to the championship. I think it's one of those. Whoever beats Roman will need people to feud against. Sheamus is ideal in that regard. Megan agrees. The one and only is fire and should never have been changed. And it was Triple H. It was Triple H saying it. You can hear it when someone says it. And I'm pretty sure it was you who told me that, Megan. Long time back. Kura says, is Sheamus being protected for Sheamus, or is Sheamus being protected to protect Holland? Sheamus is being protected for Sheamus. Holland has already been picking up losses solo. He's not being protected at all. KJ says they're not going to accept a top guy's... they're not going to change a top guy's theme unless they accept a change. Not if the license has expired. If the license has expired, they don't get a choice. And ultimately, if you don't employ the person who created the music, there is a license in play. Justin is suggesting McIntyre versus Corbin at Mania. Not sure. I still think it's possible we're going to get McIntyre versus Ridge Holland. It would certainly help with Ridge Holland over. Won't do much for McIntyre. That said, there is still some unfinished business. After all, I believe the sword is still technically in Corbin's possession. Kofi's just killing time with him. Like full-on killing time. It's late, guys. I do apologise. I was trying to drink an energy drink earlier just to get my my levels up before we start streaming. Then I realised that it was making me super twitchy. Okay, I saw Elias and thought we were going somewhere. We're not. Do you remember Elias? Whatever happened to that guy? He's still part of the company. Nobody seemed to care. KJ says, hopefully Holland turns on Sheamus later this year and we get a face Sheamus again. As great as a heel he is, I miss him as a babyface and his old theme. I think there are too many I think there are too many heels at the top level. We need a top level face. Sheamus would be a good call. I like what you're saying. Sean says, can WWE also change a theme if they don't have the rights to it? Joe Gacy had Hurtful Love changed and Cora had She's So Dumb changed. Yes. If the WWE don't have the rights to the song, it has to change. No questions asked. Justin is saying best tag team of the 90s. New Age Outlaws, probably, to be honest. Probably New Age Outlaws. Though, of course, we did have champions in Steve Austin and The Undertaker. Even Hill thinks we might see Elias in the Rumble. I kind of don't. Jeff Jarrett is backstage. Boogs just stepped all over him. Kind of makes sense, Jarrett and Boogs. You can see the connection there. Also, I like that he's black and white, much like Shinsuke Nakamura is. He looks good, does Jarrett? Nakamura pretends like he's about to say Boogs and then just goes, that's all? Oh, that's it. I thought something was about to happen, but no. It's moved on. Didn't even get the full... God damn it, what is going on tonight? Bailey says if Elias isn't in the Rumble, what's left for him? Hell if I know. What's left for him now? They have no idea what to make him. Guru says the Randy Orton tattoo lawsuit looks like it's being pushed through sooner. Might as well. Sooner the better, to be fair. Okay, just says, did we hear about LA Knight in the dark match? We did indeed. Wasn't Jeff Jarrett at GCW last weekend? Yes, he's heavily involved in that company. Always has been, as I recall. Even back when it was a concept rather than a wrestling promotion. We have about 25 minutes left of show. The Usos are making their entrance. We'll have at least 2 commercial breaks. And we've still got both Seth and Kevin Owens to make their own individual entrances. This one should be a great match. We're not going to see much of it. And that's the thing, Simon. Simon's saying Jeff Jarrett, founder of TNA versus Effie tomorrow night at GCW. Indeed, Jeff Jarrett just got a lot of free promotion. A lot of people are Googling him right now. Wrestling Reaper apparently really misses Batista. I feel he could still add a lot if he decided to return, but that match with Triple H was terrible. Jessica Gomez, welcome to the show, says, Tom, why are Raw superstars showing up on SmackDown? Well, firstly, Jessica, I'm just going to pause there. Thank you very much, Ethan, for renewing that subscription. That is your 6th month of subscription. Very grateful. Thank you, as always, for the continuing support. I really do appreciate it, mate. Right, so Jessica, Raw superstars are showing up on SmackDown because the SmackDown roster is seriously depleted. With Jeff Hardy gone in an unexpected turn of events, with the lack of star power, but that comes with no Sasha Banks, no Drew McIntyre. Roman Reigns simply ran out of opponents. With the change that came at day one, meaning that Brock Lesnar won the WWE Championship, this meant that they needed a shake-up and they didn't have the people to do it. So they called in Seth Rollins to try and make sure they at least got a good match out of it. They are trying desperately to make Royal Rumble must-see TV. They've kind of succeeded. Kura says, just makes me wonder if they win the fight over them in 2K games, if WWE will be forced to make them cover up on TV. Well, I don't think they're going to go that far, but it's certainly been a topic of discussion. Everyone just wants to do a good job. Everyone just wants to do a good job. We're heading into our second to last segment. Second to last. We're having a little bit of a Raw recap again. As always, we can't escape the Raw recaps. Megan says, I'm surprised they put Jarrett on screen of his GCW match happening on Sunday night. Well, they're basically promoting him there. KJ says, WWE's so lazy, should have said the brand split has been lifted for 2 weeks. That is basically where we are. After the Rumble, they should settle down and everything just should start to come into track. I believe Brock Lesnar is likely to win in Saudi Arabia in an elimination chamber. That's how he's going to get to Roman. But with this in mind, I kind of think Bobby might be winning. It's really hard to predict the championship matches. Sean says, I'm surprised they haven't had Miz appear. SmackDown with the lack of names. Miz is very busy with Edge. At least when it comes to the Raw names, there is a reason for them to turn up. There isn't that with the Miz at the moment. Megan says, the only thing is that after the Rumble, it's going to be weeks of Saudi hype. Ick. Yeah, 3 weeks of Saudi Arabia hype for a show that I, as you all know, will not be watching. Under no circumstances am I going to watch it. Still haven't watched Crown Jewel. I only ever watched the very first Saudi Arabia show. Haven't watched any since. Jessica says, everybody doesn't like the new Volta name. Yeah, Gunter. There's a reason for it. They were going to call him something a little bit extra, and it wasn't good. It really wasn't good. I don't understand why you need to change Volta's name when Volta has competed in NXT UK and in NXT and on the main roster under the name Volta. So why change it? I don't understand. Kuro says, honestly, I just think WWE should add an end card like shows do and list production names after the show ends. Why? They don't care who produces it. They don't want you to know. They want to squeeze as much wrestling in as possible. They want to squeeze as much Roman Reigns in as possible. Megan says, the good thing is, it's not going to be on my birthday or even on my birthday week, so yay for that. Now, guys, just so everybody knows, there's quite a few birthdays coming up, including some mod birthdays. Now, if you guys want to have some sort of party, you let me know, because I'll promote the shit out of any stream party that you do. So let me know. We can always move this party to your neck of the woods. KJ says, I mean, we know why Raw guys are here, but make it make sense. It's just a depleted roster, KJ. It's just until the NXT stars pop up, as it were. KJ says, my theory is Seth beats Roman, then Roman wins the Rumble, then gets Brock at Mania. That would mean Roman moving to Raw. It would mean both championships on Raw. That'd be awkward. Simon says, there's only ever 2 horsewomen active at one time all the time every year. That's not even slightly true. I still strongly remember the time when Becky Lynch challenged Ronda Rousey after competing with Charlotte Flair in the Royal Rumble. Straight after, Ronda Rousey beat Bayley after beating Sasha Banks at the Royal Rumble. It's not the case. Next week we do indeed have Naomi versus Sonya Deville. Sonya Deville undoubtedly going to weasel her way out of that. And there we go. Sean says, I don't want the brand split to end. It would mean less opportunities for guys like Ricochet, and that is exactly true. If the brand split does end, it won't be a positive for the people there. It will just mean less opportunities. Now guys, I do want to say, if you are currently watching on YouTube, please do consider hitting that subscribe button. We're currently getting closer and closer to 830, which would be a new record for the show and shows how well we've done not only today but for the whole last month. We are very close to a point where in January so far, we've gained 40 subscribers, a new record, and 5%, just under 5% of my current total in a single month. That's pretty incredible. We'll see how far we can push this, because as you guys know, we're aiming for that 1,000. But if you have not yet subscribed, please consider doing so. And please hit the like button while you're watching as well. Meanwhile, if you're watching on Twitch, you can of course hit follow. And if you are a subscriber and your subscription has lapsed, all you got to do is hit that subscribe button if you would like to continue with that. And if you wouldn't, thank you very much for the subscriptions you've given. We are on with Seth versus Jay starting us off. The big names, as it were. Jessica says, Sonya versus Naomi finally going to happen, or is WWE going to continue to troll the fans? I think WWE will keep trolling the fans, to be entirely honest with you. I think this goes to Mania, and not in a good way. Megan says, before this week, Volta wrestled 31 matches on TV and pay-per-view as Volta. 11 of those were title matches. I need to know why. I need to. I'm going to chase this till the end of time. Until I have an answer, I'm going to keep chasing it. As soon as I have one, I will let you know. Justin says, I miss when the 4 horsewomen were all healthy. Alexa was a goddess, Ronda was on TV, and Asuka was still a threat. Yeah, the heydays of Nia Jax. Simon is saying, how long is Roderick Strong's contract? Still to go before he can rejoin the era in AEW. I don't know on that one. I haven't got any information about him signing a new contract. That was someone else. Isn't Jimmy the one with the red hair? KJ? I'm pretty sure Jimmy's the one with the red hair. I'm behind you. Be aware of that. I think Jimmy's the one with the red hair. KJ says they did Banks and Bailey versus Charlotte and Becky like 3 times in 2019. They've had times where all 4 have been active. They have indeed. Sean sends a happy birthday to Maurice. And KJ says on the Fox debut episode as well. Of course, yes. Of course. Megan agrees, just bizarre to change his name after so long a time. It's completely out of the blue. Completely out of the blue. They have built a brand around Volta, and now we're in a case of like, yeah, forget that. KJ says, Tom, could it be because Volta doesn't want them to own Volta? It's possible, but they wouldn't. It's his name. I don't know. Justin says, unpopular opinion here, but Omos and Doudrop are just a poor man, Strowman and Nia. I want to respond to that, and there's a few layers to respond to it with. Firstly, when it comes to wrestling talent and experience, I can see where you're coming from. However, Doudrop has much more personality and enthusiasm than Nia Jax did, even though Nia Jax, I found her very funny and entertaining at times. Strowman and Omos, the comparison's apt. It's just a big guy who can't wrestle and will eventually learn to wrestle, who is currently learning to wrestle. Braun Strowman already could wrestle. I would have rather just kept the ones we had and given Doudrop the name Piper Niven. Jessica says, for me, Saudi Arabia's show really needs a Punjabi prison match. Omos versus Jinder Mahal, a 5-star classic. Never, never. Not after the last Punjabi prison, which was fucking terrible. Then yeah, KJ, I was absolutely right. I was absolutely right. It was Jay and Seth rolling around on Matt. Megan says Jimmy's the one with half red hair because Naomi's the one who dyed it for him. Sure, I saw the video on TikTok or Instagram. I like weird videos like that. One of the things that really got Becky over with me was the Coronation Chicken episode. She just wanted her pineapple chunks. She couldn't open the can. It was magnificent. Sean says, I think the same happened to Eli Drake. Don't think he wanted WWE to own his name, so they changed it to LA Knight. Certainly possible. They don't care much in NXT UK. Things change. Simon says, I saw Volta wrestle Seth Rollins live at Manchester MEN Arena in November 2019 on an episode of Raw in a great match. Simon, I was also at that show. I was on the top tier. So if you're where the ring is, sorry, no, if you're the ramp, the ring's there, I would have been there. Just like right above. In fact, the picture, I'll show you a picture that I took there. I just have to, which one is it? I think it's this one. If I do this, the picture that you're looking at right now is a Bray Wyatt's entrance in a dark match segment. That right there, the picture, is from that show that you just mentioned. From Bray Wyatt's entrance, you can see Bray Wyatt just to the right of my logo, stood on the apron. He's about to beat up AJ Styles and the Club. Good times. Bailey says, will Via appear at Saudi Arabia, or is this just one big rib for Vince? It's becoming a meme, isn't it? It's becoming a meme. And the thing is, once it's become a meme, it can't stop being a meme. Via will get over more by not turning up for the next 5 years than he will by actually turning up. Even if he wins championships, no chance. Megan, the logo screen is a picture. If I move the HD webcam, the colourful picture behind, the yellow, the red, the blue, it is all a picture of a ring in the middle. Bray Wyatt stood on the apron, and all the people stood around it. Hope you guys can see it. Justin says Nia Jax got a ton of hate, but she actually could draw heat, which she could, not really, but drawing heat is very hard nowadays. She was an incredible heel. She provided exactly what they were looking for. Just a very good heel. Brandon, welcome, mate. Rocking out that bubbly. Rocking out that bubbly. Welcome, mate. How you doing? And Jessica says, I feel bad for the talent that played Muhammad Hassan's character. No, you're right. He was given a terrible storyline. And honestly, he did okay with it until it went too far. Until it went too far. Fair enough, Megan. I got you. We are in our final commercial break. About to have the ending segment. Roman apparently still backstage. Not doing anything. Not taking risks. Not going outside. He'll step up when he's ready to step up. KJ says maybe they're just dragging it now. Also, what changed? At first he was on Raw losing and now he's re-debuting. The hope is to turn him into something big. They are not succeeding. At all. I think it's worth considering. If the idea was that they were changing Volta's name to Gunther because Volta didn't want them to own the name Volta, maybe they intentionally chose a name that he really wouldn't want. Maybe they intentionally chose a name he really wouldn't want in the hope that he would say, yeah, I'll just sign my name off. Kuro says Veer will debut on Raw as soon as Game of Thrones The Book series finishes. Wow, he may be dead by then. Veer is like the king of memes now by not appearing, and that's how it should be. Just little play like that can make a big difference. Seth and KO are genuinely the faces right now, aren't they? Like, they are genuinely the good guys in this. They're building to a hot tag. The Usos are the bad guys. Jay, are we the baddies? Yes, you are. Brandon says, I'm good, buddy. Long week at work, but 2 nights off now. How have you been? I've been great, Brandon. Let me tell you a little thing about how my life has changed in the past few months. So, I have 5 working days left on the phones, and then I move on to the resourcing team and get a $5,000 raise. Life's good, mate. Life's good. And that's before you factor in the money that I will soon be making from YouTube, where we've gained a lot of subscribers recently. Life's good, mate. Life is good. At some point, I still plan to come into Manchester, by the way. We'll catch up. Simon says, what's your thoughts on Turner Media fighting back with comments today against the WWE over the TJ and Bunny Penelope Bloody Street Fight ads fight. I like to ignore the entire thing. It's the WWE tactic here is not based around wrestling fans. It's based around advertisers. This is the WWE's way of intimidating advertisers into being less supportive of AEW. And it works. It works. AEW have not fully established their reputation with advertisers yet, which means the WWE can come in under the line and just sow discord. AEW really need to not react and to be basically just saying to any advertisers who do have issues, yeah, we'll prove you wrong. That's all it's got to be. Just we'll prove you wrong. You know? It's good stuff. Justin says, is this the best Rumble ever in terms of title matches? So, historically, SummerSlam 1998 is my favourite pay-per-view. Lately, this has been supplanted by Royal Rumble 2019. Becky Lynch versus Asuka, Ronda Rousey versus Sasha Banks, the men's and the women's Rumbles, Brock Lesnar versus Finn Balor, AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan. Yes, there was also The Miz and Shane McMahon versus the Usos for the Tag Team Championships, but even that wasn't bad. So I think that became my go-to. Sean says, any Raw women that could appear on SmackDown other than Becky? Bianca's got some unfinished business with Charlotte. Other than that, not sure. Brandon says, ooh, damn, can't complain, mate, can't complain. I really can't. Really glad things are going well for you. So happy for you. And yes, Manchester soon, hopefully, for a catch-up. We'll go see some wrestling, mate. We'll go see some wrestling. Although, to be fair, I was really tempted to go Manchester way this Sunday. There's a John Robertson gig on. I was very tempted. Next one. The crowd really quite into Seth Rollins here. It's working very effectively. If the plan is to turn him face but only on SmackDown, they're doing a damn good job of it. Justin Stevens says, quite rightly, Bryan versus Styles was in a terrible spot on that show. Yep, absolutely they were. They came right after all that excitement for Becky Lynch. And this is why I think I'm starting to appreciate the show more, having watched it after that excitement had died down a little bit. Looking at that match and actually respecting it a little bit more because I'm detached more now from that emotion with Becky. As you guys know, big Becky Lynch fan. It meant a lot to me. Simon suggests Royal Rumble 2000, classic matches, Cactus Jack versus Triple H, Hardy Boys Team Extreme versus Team 3D tables match, also Mae Young's tits. Here's the thing, I said it earlier, and I think I'm going to be saying it a lot. Everyone always forgets that there is a lot of the Attitude Era that you don't really want to think about. Megan suggests I'd have Rhea go to SmackDown. Could do a story with her trying to break Bayley's record for getting Women's Grand Slam the fastest. That'd be cool. I'd like that. Ultimately, she knows she can't beat Charlotte, but as soon as Charlotte loses the championship, fair game. Yeah, it'd be good. I think as well, to be fair, they need a reshuffle in the women's division. The draft did not work out for the women's division on either side. It just didn't. This is a very fast-paced match. Jey Uso has rescued the match, but for how long? I do love that suplex that Owens does off the top rope. Well, sorry, the second rope there. Yes, Brandon, Mae Young's tits. That is a thing that happened. Justin says 2001 Rumble was my favourite. Angle versus Triple H, Jericho versus Name Redacted in a ladder match, Edge and Christian versus the Dudleys, and one of the best Rumbles ever. The Royal Rumble, as a show, very rarely disappoints. Very rarely disappoints. Honestly, if you could pick one pay-per-view, you could only have one pay-per-view a year, gotta be the Rumble for me. WrestleMania can go to hell. That's a commercial. You don't get satisfaction from WrestleMania. You just get a commercial. Sean says, favourite John Cena versus AJ Styles match? Mine is the SummerSlam one. I know the Royal Rumble match, I think it was 2016, 17. 2017 is generally considered their best, but SummerSlam, when AJ Styles got his clean win, just a fresh heel, that for me, we didn't know that it was coming. It was a surprise, and that was good. Roman has made his appearance, realised the Usos could not get the match finished off without him, thrown a Superman punch at Seth Rollins, ensuring that Seth Rollins will be able to take on Roman with no Usos at ringside. Now this could mean one of two things. Either Roman's going to win clean, Kevin Owens is going to already betray Seth, which isn't impossible, or Bloodline groweth. Who hates Seth on the SmackDown side? Everyone, yeah. Everyone. Yes, everyone. KJ says, I watched that Rumble early this week for the first time and I was fully unaware of Mae Young and her tits, KJ. Her tits. Brandon says, Cena versus Styles at the Rumble was straight fire. I might just watch them all again soon. That Matt Welcome Mate says, yo, I'm super late but wanted to say hi before you sign off. You're right, mate. I am about to sign off, but it's great to see you and I'm glad to see you're popping in. Are you well, mate? Sean says, I think most say their Rumble match is the best because Cena tied the record. He did, and that is the end of any record making that he will have. There is no intention, to my knowledge, for John Cena to win any further World Championships. Simon says, name redacted, tremendous wrestler, horrible evil human being. I get what you're saying. Tremendous wrestler, yes. Did a horrible thing in every possible way. Utterly horrible. Megan says, out of the top 5, Royal Rumble is top, then Money in the Bank, Survivor Series, just for the brand versus brand, then SummerSlam, then WrestleMania. SummerSlam and Mania are draining and overinflated now, and you could not be more right. I completely agree. Moxie says, C+ show. I couldn't tell you anything of real note there. Nothing really happened. There's nothing really newsworthy. If I was writing a review of that, I'd just be like, it happened. But we are where we are. I will be back likely Sunday night. And then, of course, we will be going back to our usual schedule. A Monday show, probably a Wednesday video, a Friday show. We may even manage to sneak in a live recording of Nick and Tom's over the next week or so. So keep your eyes peeled for that. In the meantime, thank you all for joining me. I've been Tom Colohue. You've been fantastic. And I'll see you all very, very soon.